All right, let's dive into a story that is just a fascinating puzzle about money. It's all about why some of the absolute smartest people in the world can end up completely broke, while others, people with ordinary jobs, somehow manage to build these incredible fortunes. So on one side, you've got this tech genius. I mean, this guy designed Wi-Fi routers in his 20s. He patented all kinds of inventions and sold companies for millions. And then on the other side, you have a janitor, a man named Ronald Reed, just a quiet, unassuming guy who spent his life fixing cars and cleaning floors. The genius? He went bankrupt. The janitor? He died a multimillionaire. So how in the world is that even possible?
Well, the genius's story is, wow, it's like a masterclass in how to lose everything. He would literally walk around with giant wads of cash just to show it off. There's this one infamous story where he and a friend bought thousands of dollars in gold coins just to, get this, skip them across the ocean like stones to see whose went farther. Another time, he broke a $500 lamp in a hotel and just threw $5,000 at the manager and told him to never bother him again. Of course, it wasn't long before the party stopped, the money vanished, and he was left bankrupt, totally buried in debt.
But then, on the complete other side of the coin, you have the janitor, Ronald Reed. His path wasn't about flash, it wasn't about ego, it was all about quiet, relentless consistency. Think about this. For 25 years, Ronald Reed worked as a gas station attendant. For another 17, he was a janitor. He lived his entire life in a simple two-bedroom house that he bought when he was 38. There was no secret here, no lottery win, no big inheritance. He just saved what little he could from his paychecks and patiently, quietly invested it in blue-chip stocks. But the real shock, the part that just blew everyone away, came when he passed away in 2014 at the age of 92. The world suddenly discovered that this humble janitor had quietly built up a fortune of 64 crore rupees. That's $8 million. And what did he do with all that money? Well, he left a little bit to his kids, sure, but the vast majority, over 46 crore rupees, he donated to his local hospital and library. This man, who spent his entire life cleaning floors, left behind a legacy that most high-flying executives could only dream of. And look, this isn't just some isolated incident, a one-off story. Let's bring in another character, Richard. This guy was a highly educated MBA, a super successful businessman who retired at 40, celebrated in magazines as one of the top business minds out there. He lived in an 18,000 square foot mansion, a place so lavish that the monthly maintenance alone was 70 lakh rupees. But the whole thing, the entire lifestyle, was built on a massive mountain of debt. So when the 2008 financial crisis hit, his income just disappeared. The mansion, the site of all those lavish parties, was auctioned off for 75% less than it was worth. So you have an uneducated janitor who leaves a fortune and a tech genius and an MBA expert who end up with nothing. What is going on here? So, how do we explain this paradox? The answer, it turns out, isn't in some complicated finance textbook or spreadsheet. The real secret to wealth, it's all in our heads. The secret, the thing that separates the janitor from the genius and the expert, it's not intelligence, it's not education, it's not even being clever. It's something much, much simpler, but also way harder to master. It all boils down to behavioral skills. This is your ability to control your impulses, to be patient, to keep your ego and greed in check. It's all about how you act with money, not what you know about it. See, Ronald Reed was a master of financial behavior. The genius and the MBA, they were not. The most crucial point is this. Financial success is less of a hard science and much more of a soft skill. You can be the absolute smartest person in the room, but if you can't control your own behavior, you are almost destined to fail. Okay, so if behavior is the key, how do we actually build the right mindset? Well, to find a roadmap for that, we can turn to the timeless wisdom of Napoleon Hill. He spent 2 whole decades studying the habits and behaviors of the world's most successful people. Hill's research, what he found, breaks the whole journey down into 3 clear stages. And it all starts with the most important foundation, your internal mindset. So this first stage is all about shaping your inner world. This isn't just about wanting to be rich. Hill calls it a burning desire, like an absolute obsession. You have to combine that with this unwavering faith that you will achieve it. And then you reinforce that belief every single day through what he calls auto-suggestion, which is basically programming your subconscious mind to accept your success as if it's already happened. Okay,
Next, once you have that inner mindset, you have to translate it into an outer strategy. This begins with specialized knowledge, which isn't just knowing stuff, it's knowing how to use what you know. Then you apply your imagination to see new possibilities. You create an organized plan. And finally, you act on it with conviction. You have to make a decision. And that point on decision-making, it is absolutely critical. The research is so clear on this. Unsuccessful people take forever to make a decision, and then they change it all the time. Successful people do the exact opposite. They decide quickly, and then they are very, very slow to change their minds. They stay the course. The final stage is mastery. This means developing the persistence to push through any and all failure. It means harnessing the power of the mastermind by surrounding yourself with a trusted group of advisors. You learn to channel powerful emotions into your work. And finally, you develop what Hill called a sixth sense, a kind of sharpened intuition that guides you, those little hunches that point you to the right opportunities.
Okay, let's bring all of this together now. We've seen the incredible downfall of a genius and the quiet, stunning triumph of a janitor. We've looked at the roadmap to building a wealthy mindset. So, what does all this mean for you?
The core lesson here is really simple when you think about it. Building wealth has a lot less to do with the size of your brain and a whole lot more to do with the strength of your character. It's about patience, it's about discipline, and it's about humility. The janitor understood that, the genius didn't. So the question I want to leave you with is this. When you look at your own financial life, honestly, what's really holding you back? Is it what you know, or is it how you behave? The answer to that question might just be the key to everything.